Hey, everybody. We're so glad that you joined us today for the If I Had More Time podcast. My name is Liz Garcia. I'll be your host today. I'm here with our senior pastor, Eric Geiger, and the Irvine lead pastor, Jared Kirkwood.
Watch out.
So fun. I'm also noticing we've got a new fancy graphic up. For those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, you should click over. See, we got
Did
a
we just change
new brand.
The font? Is it just it's still the same color? Is it like a new font?
Eric, we showed you in a meeting a couple weeks ago. It's a fresh look.
It's drastically improved.
Did I?
What are you talking about?
And I liked it when you showed it to me.
You did.
I like
You-
it. I
you-
think it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
He's normally very detailed. This feels like an
No,
inaccurate.
was that a meeting where I approved a whole lot of different things?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was information overload.
Yeah.
Sorry about
No,
that.
it's good.
All right.
I trust the team. I think it looks great.
All right. We'll try again next week.
Stay
maybe.
tuned for next week when we have a new one.
A new logo.
I think it pops. It looks great. Well, I'm so excited to be here with both of you, and I am loving this series so far. The week
Me
that
too.
changed the world.
I'm enjoying spending time in preparation in the Gospels, and
Yeah.
I love seeing people's hearts melted by who Jesus is. I know that it feels, well, at least for me, it does feel a bit kind of like the show 24, how each episode was 1 hour, but then it would take you a whole season to get through one day.
Yes.
And so it's taken us 6 weeks to get through 1 week. But I think about it from a Christian calendar journey perspective, and think about if you wanted to only look at the final week of Jesus on the calendar from the day that is declared Palm Sunday to Easter, then you're basically saying, I'm going to read a third of the Gospels only in that 1 week
That's
period
right.
of time.
Wow.
Because there's so much of the Gospels about this week.
Yeah.
That's why I'm enjoying walking through it over a 6 week period of time, just because it's a third of the Gospels. There's so much ink devoted to this 1 week,
Absolutely.
So I'm thankful to get to do it this way.
Yeah.
That's good.
I have a lot of expectation too, and anticipation for Easter this way, as we're all journeying together
Totally.
towards it.
That's true. If you come each week, you really will have maybe the most beautiful Easter experience, because you're really going to live all of these
Yes.
passages, and you're going to then arrive at Easter Sunday with the text matching the date. And
Yes.
it's going to be it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and for those in our church who are traveling, you got spring break and ski. I guess spring break will be after Easter, right?
In the summer before too.
It's summer before?
Yep.
Okay, so spring break, ski week, if you're traveling, tune in online or the podcasts. Don't miss one of these weeks, because you want to see the major events of the
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, that's right. Some amazing things happening in the life of our church too right now. It's the fun season. Rooted is going,
Baptisms.
and
Yeah, this is the great
Child dedication.
Yeah.
There's
That's right.
so much going on. It's great.
It's awesome.
Seeing as many people baptized
Oh,
has been beautiful. And we've seen so many people come to faith in Christ the first couple of months of this calendar year. So like over 1,000 people
Jeez.
since January have stood up and confessed, I believe in Jesus, I'm trusting him. And then now to be able to baptize a bunch of those people,
oh,
just really, really special. We had
Stunning.
baptisms at every congregation, and so just glorious.
Yeah.
so beautiful. This weekend's message is so amazing, Eric. We just got to listen to Eric deliver for the Mariners Online community. And this message on Jesus overturning tables is so powerful and convicting, inspiring. And you shared at the very beginning of your message about how this image of Jesus angered
Yeah.
can actually be challenging for some folks. And maybe all of us at some point in our journey have to wrestle with this idea of God can be angry.
Right.
Why do you guys think that is?
I thought he had a flowing locks and a blue sash and a
Yeah.
little baby lamb.
Oh, super cuddly.
Yeah.
Cuddly
That's what I
Jesus.
assumed he
Yeah.
was. Or buddy Jesus, with the thumbs up.
Yeah. Who's just gonna affirm everything in your life, just
Exactly.
tell you you're awesome all
That's
the
right.
time.
Yeah.
Never gonna confront you. Just is gonna be available when you want him.
Yes. This is the convenience Jesus
Yeah,
that
like
we're looking for.
like, hey, I'm over here, and
If
I'm
you need me.
if you need me, I'm around, and I'll tell you how awesome you are. Yeah, that's not this Jesus,
Definitely not.
and not the and not the
And
God
not
of the
actually
Bible.
Jesus.
Yeah, not actually who Jesus is.
Yeah. That's
he's as I shared the message, he's not presenting himself in the Gospels as perpetually angry.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who want to use the anger of Jesus to justify their anger, they should pause and really look at the totality of the Gospels and just audit their anger and be sure that their anger is righteous. There is such a thing as righteous anger, but sometimes we can think our anger is righteous when it's not righteous.
Yeah, it can be self-righteous.
It can be self-righteous. Jesus had righteous anger and he expressed it righteously. So there is a righteous anger of Jesus overthrowing the tables, but it was because he loved the people deeply. Because he's a holy God and Jesus is God the Son, he hates sin, and that because that defames who he is. He hates when people who are his image bearers, people he's created, are mistreated. People were being mistreated. And so he's going to get angry at what destroys people.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that he's angry.
Right.
Because that means he loves me deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he's angered at what can destroy me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I definitely understand that more now as a dad.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
Well, we're in this era of gentle parenting, and I think that the results will find that if you are unwilling to discipline your children,
you're getting controversial now, Jared.
I'm sorry,
And just
but
bringing in gentle parenting.
I do a lot. I was in here earlier today recording some parenting content, so I live this stuff. But it is a little bit, I think. Well, the jury will still be out for a while, but if you're unwilling to discipline your kids or put some boundaries in place, I'm pretty sure that's not going to have a net result that we're going to be proud of.
No, I think
I'm not trying to be controversial.
Well, since you went there, I'm just going to say.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Since Jared I'm only addressing it because you brought it up.
I'm the angriest guy on staff, so that's why you brought me here today. I'm going to bring it.
This wasn't one of the questions that Liz posed.
No, it wasn't, to be clear.
But you said the jury's still out on gentle parenting.
I was just trying to hedge.
You hedge a little bit. That may be true in terms of research. You know, there may be a study, 20 years from now or less on. But if you just read the scripture, and I'm not advocating for a type of discipline,
of course,
but we definitely see that God disciplines those he loves. And this is Hebrews chapter 12. Anyone he does not discipline is not a true son. That discipline for God is an act of his love.
Right.
So to love your kids well, if you're going to love the way God the Father loves, it's going to include some discipline.
Yeah.
And obviously each kid's different. I have two daughters. Yes. Discipline may express itself differently for the child, but for the sake of the child.
And it changes as they grow.
Yes.
It takes on many different forms over time.
Yes. Yes. It changes because what matters to them changes.
That's right.
Yep.
We can get back on track if you'd like.
Yeah, Jared, thank you. Thank you for that. So we're
last time we'll be on this podcast.
It's great.
I mean, we had the pet thing on the Lee Strobel one.
I got to take on that if you want.
I have had the most controversial things that I've said in the last several months has not been in a sermon. I mean, we have gotten through some really challenging topics.
Yeah.
It's just been when I'm hanging out in the podcast that I can just say something that people are like, what? Since we're there, and this is, I'd love our if I had more time, crew. So I just let you in a little bit insider information. So Lee Strobel, in his book on heaven, he had the chapter of the common questions people ask, and one of them was, will my pet go to heaven? And Lee and I said, and I think people miss this part, you have to listen to the whole thing. We said that animals are in heaven because in Genesis 1 and 2, before sin entered the world, Genesis 3, there were animals. And so Revelation 21:22, you get the sense that it's the new creation. We believe there will be animals. We can't say for certain that your pet, my dog Roscoe, will be in heaven. If God wants the dog Roscoe to be in heaven, that would be great. But I can't give you a verse that's saying your dog is going to be in heaven, and Roscoe's never bowed before Jesus and received him. So
Aaron, what are you doing? Are you trying to rile the people up again?
I'm wanting to say this one thing. I'm wanting to defend myself on this one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what I want to say. Don't you want me to be honest with you on what the Bible says and doesn't say? So when I say, hey, I can't tell you a verse that's going to tell you that your dog's in heaven, then you would know, well, when Eric tells me I can tell you this verse, then I can believe because he was honest that there wasn't a verse for this other thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's what
It's parenting, pastoring. We have to put boundaries on things. We want your voice to matter. So it's good. We're with you.
yes.
I can't wait to see Roscoe in heaven.
You want my voice to matter?
I think
my Roscoe.
What I'm saying, is when what you're saying
Yes.
is that what I teach, I want to be clear and definitive about what the gospel says or what
Yes.
the Bible says. And so when I can tell you something truthfully and accurately, we can know where it exactly comes
Yes,
from.
I
And
wanna
I'm not
be-
going to tell you something just because you want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to be strong on where the scripture's strong.
There you go.
And where it's not strong, I don't want to act like the scripture's strong on this thing when it's not. Then I feel like I'm not pastoring you well.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same thing with my kids. To your point, there is pastoring and parenting. Now, I could be gentle pastoring and just tell you, of course, Louis, of course, everything you want. Yes, yes.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. No, that's not good for your heart.
It's not.
And,
job.
And Liz, this has everything to do with Jesus being angry.
I have been fighting right now, trying to figure out how am I going to turn this
You're gonna
around.
do
It
great.
has everything
You're
to
gonna do
do
great.
because he loves us. He's angered at what can destroy us.
That's right. That's right. I do. What I'm don't have any kids, so I haven't experienced this with my own children. But long-time babysitter, and I remember
And we're even professionally nanny, right?
Oh, wow.
Professionally, I don't think I had any kind of accreditation.
Was it like?
But you're right. It was a full-time job at one
there
point.
you go.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
elevating the role
Thank
that you were in
you.
because that was an
Thank
important
you.
role.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I do remember a time that I learned this only in part again, but it was a little 3-year-old absolutely desperately wanted to keep playing with these scissors, and every time I took them away from him, he pitched the biggest fit, and I just thought, oh, is this what I look like to God? You know, when he's trying to protect me from something.
No, that's a
and
good
take
illustration.
something away from me that I really want, or something feels uncomfortable to me that he's doing.
God, you just don't understand.
Yeah.
You don't get it. I wanted that so bad, you know. And he's like, you have no idea.
Right.
Yeah,
This is for your good.
Yeah, I am saving you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So this event where Jesus comes in and he condemns the temple,
Yeah.
I love that you clarified that for us. Why did it put those religious leaders, you shared this, that it kind of put them on the fast track to Jesus's crucifixion, his killing?
Wow. So there's a lot of layers to that answer. The temple was the religious hub and the cultural hub of Jerusalem. And the religious leaders, so much of their role is connected to the temple.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jesus is condemning their livelihood. He's condemning their culture. He's condemning their social economic status. He's condemning the totality. I mean, this wasn't the people.
Yeah.
This was the religious leaders who wanted to have him killed because so much of their identity was really connected to the temple.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Jesus is condemning it because this was supposed to be where people from all nations could encounter the presence of God. You've ruined that. And we also know the temple was always supposed to be a shadow, a foreshadow of who is to come, which is Jesus.
Yeah.
So even when the temple would have been, even when it had not been corrupted, it still wasn't to be forever. It was still to point to Jesus.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
but yes, the reason the religious leaders wanted him killed is because they were deeply threatened.
Yeah.
And remember, we saw this last week. He's now made it clear he's king. So this is different from the earlier sections in the Gospels where he's healing people and saying, "Hey, let's not tell anybody. My time's not yet come." He knows his time has come.
Right.
Yeah.
So the day before, he's letting people worship him.
Wow.
Now he's overthrowing tables in the temple and saying this is a den of robbers.
Yeah.
He's being blatantly clear
Yeah.
that he is the king
Yeah.
and that he has authority over the temple.
Wow.
And so he every message he's sending, he knows and the crowd knows this is going to lead to his crucifixion.
Yeah.
They're not going to tolerate this.
Wow.
There's no way they're going to tolerate this.
Yeah. I'm always marveling at just the focus and intentionality of Jesus, and when he allows people to worship him, or
Yeah.
when he shows restraint throughout
Yes.
the Gospels. He knew how everything would play out, but he was so intentional in each scenario how he allowed people to
Yes.
engage with him.
Very intentional, and we're seeing this in the week that changed the world, from him being able to arrange that he rides the donkey, because he's showing that he's the fulfillment of the prophecy in Zechariah, and a picture of Solomon riding into Jerusalem on the donkey. So he's giving that picture, super intentional, and then, allowing people to worship him. This is a passage, the triumphal entry, which then moves into what we looked at this weekend, where someone who's a skeptic of Jesus does have to wrestle with, I can't say he's just a good person, because he lets people worship him. Like, I would be an evil person if I allowed someone to worship me.
Right. Right.
And so it's that old Josh McDowell, C.S. Lewis kind of had a similar, he's either a Lord, a liar, or he's either the Lord, a liar, or lunatic.
Right.
He's either lying and saying he's God and receiving worship, or he's a crazy person who's receiving worship. But you can't say he's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. He lets people worship him.
Yeah.
That's, unless you're God, that's evil.
Right.
Because you're actually taking worship from the one true God.
Yeah.
Unless you're God, to let someone worship you is evil. So when you read the Gospels, you cannot conclude that this was a good person. You have to conclude, to quote Josh McDowell, you have to conclude he was either the Lord, which we've bowed before him as our King, as our Lord, or he was a crazy person, or he was a liar.
Wow.
But you can't conclude he's just a good guy.
Wow. How much of the religious leaders and their, the threatening, they're being threatened by Jesus, how much of them is just that wanting to keep Jews to be Jews and Gentiles to be Gentiles? Like, what was the level of just complete separation that was attempted there, right? I think that to me today in your teaching, the most profound part of this section was just it wasn't that there was money changing going on. It wasn't like this corrupt system where people were making more money. It was about the location of where those tables were. Yeah. How much of that for the Jews would have been angered at the system that they had set up, where this was preferential treatment for Jews of the day and the Gentiles were sort of left on their own? I actually don't know. I'm curious from your research, like, what is that mostly to do with?
So in the time of Jesus, there were different groups. There were the Essenes, there were the Pharisees, the Sadducees, Zealots. There were different groups. And so different groups would have had different perspectives. There would have for sure been some that thought Israel is Israel. We don't want any outsider. There would be others. I think I've read historically, like the Sadducees were sympathetic towards Rome and even Roman occupation. Like, this is not ideal, but it's probably what's best for us now.
Right.
Then there were others like Pharisees who, what mattered to them was separation from the world. Pharisee actually means to be separated, so that's why they cared about trying to obey all of these man-made rules that they made up. So often for those people, they would have been frustrated with non-Jewish people, because they would not have been. A Pharisee would have rules like, hey, the law says, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Well, how do we know we do that? Well, you can't take a bath on the Sabbath, because if you take a bath on the Sabbath, that means water might spill out of the tub, and if you wipe it up, you'll have worked on the Sabbath.
Right.
Wow.
So they made rules that weren't in the Bible on top of the rules in the Bible. So those people would have been just turned off by non-Jewish people who didn't keep all the rules that they had set up.
Right.
And that now the people who went into Israel and were a part of the covenant, that is what God wanted. He did want them to submit to the divine law that he had given, but not all the religious man-made rules that the people had given.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So those people would have probably looked down on not only Gentiles, but even Jewish people who weren't keeping all the rules.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fascinating contrast between the day prior, everyone is freely worshiping him and he is accepting it. And then the next day we get into the temple and there are these obstacles getting in the way of worship. And that's what he wants to confront, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I just think it's just amazing, the separation as I think about it now, just the Jews and the Gentiles, and there is an exclusivity and an inclusivity to Jesus, right? Everyone is welcome and yet it is only through him.
100%. Yes, that's a great way to say it. The Christian faith is both radically inclusive and radically exclusive. It's exclusive in that the only way in is through Jesus. And it's inclusive in that anyone can come through Jesus.
Yep.
Everyone's welcome through Jesus. Yep.
It's amazing. I believe so many are going to be convicted over those 5 tables that you laid out for us.
I'm convicted.
I am, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I circled 2.
Tell us which ones.
Only 2? Which 2 did you circle?
No.
I'll tell you.
We're asking. We're being transparent. It's just us. No one else is listening.
It's my last time too, so I'll go ahead and share. Well, busyness. I mean, for me, busyness. I also think too. Look, this is maybe someone who works in Christian work or pastoral work, church work. When you go to church, you're going to work, and so there's a time where, as you do too, you have to figure out, how am I going to make sure that I'm going to sit with my wife. I'm going to worship. I'm not going to allow the distractions of the room, which are important things, to pull me away from hearing the teaching or worshiping. So there are some conflicting moments, but there's some really important ones where I think Jesus wants to flip that table just for my own heart, for my own sake of him just going, this is your church too.
Right.
Yeah. What was the second one?
Okay,
you're not getting off without telling us everything.
I'll tell you mine.
I didn't know that control was maybe a part of me until when I first got a Tesla, and I was given because of the purchase. I got a free month of the full self-driving.
I would have totally thought control, not because I think you're a deeply sinful person, because of the 4 root idols that I've taught before, which is from that scholar David Powlison, that famous counselor. He said that the sin, he was quoting Martin Luther, that said there underneath every behavioral sin is the sin of idolatry, and he says control, power, approval, and comfort. So I hit 3 of the 4 in the tables, but someone like you, who I'm the same way, control is, of those 4 root idols, control would be mine. What I have just found with friends of mine and people who I've worked alongside, people who are gifted like you, you're very, very gifted as a leader, people who are gifted as a leader and also are Enneagram 3-ish, which is you, who are gifted as leaders.
Very revealing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have totally guessed that was you.
Heart surgery.
Because gifted as a leader, and you are driven. You want to be effective. You want to make an impact.
Yeah.
And those are, an idol can always start good. Like
sure.
Your gifting's from God, and your drive is from God. Your desire to achieve for His glory is from God. But we know idolatry is we can make a good thing and the ultimate thing. And so the profile of how I described tends to be someone who, for the sake of effectiveness, wants to control things.
Yeah.
It's totally mine.
Look, it makes total sense.
Totally mine.
I put the car on full self-driving for about 30 seconds, and it was in that moment I realized I am not good out of control. I did not like a computer driving me on the freeway, and it truly, that is where God went, let's work on the rest of it too.
Yeah.
Like, it showed so much of where I had these other problems with control. It's been good.
Control has been one I've
allowing him to flip the table.
Yep, continually asked him to flip that table in my life, because my life truly is better when he's in control and I'm not in control. And it's a challenge for me because there's being shrewd and wise and responsible. Like, that's all holy.
Yeah.
It moves unholy when it gets into an unhealthy control.
Yeah.
But like complete, I don't like laissez-faire, like I don't care. That's not godly either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's this divine human tension of, I want to follow you, you be the one who's ultimately in control. The one that I was convicted about in my own sermon was bitterness. And I've never really been a bitter, I don't think I've been a bitter person. No one's ever confronted me or held me. I've been held accountable for my control issues, but I've never been held accountable for my bitterness issues. But I've seen, now that I've been pastoring here for 7.5 years, there's been hurtful things it's part of life. Like, there's been hurtful things, or
people getting angry about your view on pets.
Come on, Liz, why you got to bring that back up? That's actually a funny one to me. I wouldn't.
We're not bitter about that.
But imagine one like that feels personal, or is hurtful.
Totally.
I know that if I'm not careful, I can put a wall up around my heart that will stop me from being vulnerable with others because I got hurt before, or trusting of someone because I got hurt. And that makes me less like Jesus and less effective in my life. So yeah, I just want him to keep turning that table over in my life. I don't want bitterness to steal from me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the one that I see the most around here. Bitterness.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of just the position that I have and what ends up kind of becoming a conversation that I'm invited into. I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of people that have unhealed wounds that they just don't know what to do with. They don't know how to get whole and healthy again.
Yeah.
And God thankfully has given me a heart of compassion for so many people. I have plenty of things to be bitter about. And yet when we surrender those over to Jesus and just go, would you heal me? Would you restore and redeem and do the work that only you can do? He has allowed me to be on the other side of the table from lots of people and find great compassion in what Jesus wants and is able to do.
The only solution for bitterness is forgiveness. I've learned this as pastoring people. People have been surprised, but when the person that you are so angered with or bitter towards dies, it doesn't cure it.
No, it's true.
Wow.
So it's like, oh, wow, even their demise or their death did not cure me. The only thing that will cure is forgiveness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the only way. And it's impossible to forgive. In my own merit and grit, I cannot forgive. The only way I can forgive, it's impossible to forgive unless my heart is just overwhelmed with how Jesus has forgiven me.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Yeah. You identified one of those traits of the anger of Jesus as redemptive. And I do think that there's something to be said that each of these tables that he does overturn in our hearts, he then replaces it with something more of himself, whether it's joy or more worship, you know.
Yes.
And I love that that we're drawing on this comparison of the temple, and then we are the temples, and that we are to be places of worship. We are in fact created for that. And when he removes these things, we're stepping into more of who he's created us to be more like Jesus. Yeah.
Good.
What do you guys think we should say to those that are experiencing this conviction? Like how can we encourage all of them this weekend?
Man, if you are being convicted by a message, you should rejoice.
Yeah.
Because that means that first you're a Christian. That the Spirit
is in you.
Exactly. The Spirit is within you. I remember when I played sports in high school, the coach would say, I had a yeller coach. You know, it's
we've all had one.
It's kind of out of style now.
That's true. Although I just recently saw it, so maybe it's still around.
Really? College game or high school game?
No, it was a high school game. Just more of a style of a coach. And you know what?
It's back. Maybe it's back.
Are there non-yelling coaches?
Maybe we went through a gentle coaching period.
See, it's everywhere. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But I did not have a gentle coach. But he would say, don't worry if I'm yelling at you. Worry if I stop yelling.
Right.
But his point was, like, I essentially have given up on you.
Exactly.
And not that he was being like Jesus, but changing it over to Jesus, because he's not given up on you, and he never will give up on you if you're his. That's why he's convicting you. It means that you're his. And so just the first off, rejoice that you are under conviction. Rejoice that there's a table that you want him to overturn, and that he wants to overturn. And then second, embrace it. Embrace and allow him to do his work. Come on, you already know the longer you resist him, he's going to end up winning anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to win.
Yeah.
And so it's just better if you give in earlier. Just tap out.
I always see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not Jesus's anger towards you. It's towards the thing that's getting in the way of the relationship with him and more worship for him, right? It's not. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think.
Am I being too gentle of a pastor?
You're such a gentle pastor. So we know for sure he's against the things that damage us, that are outside of us, but there is sin in our own hearts as well.
Yes.
You know, and I want to be careful I don't over separate sin from who I am.
Of course.
Because sin is often my choices. And he is angered against though he loves me, he's angered against my choices that are against him, because those choices hurt me, but they also hurt other people. When I walk in sin,
that's good.
I actually damage others, and I defame him, and I don't represent him well. So it is true that because he loves me, he's angered against anything that would hurt me. But often what will hurt me is is my own sin.
Fine.
You know, my own foolishness.
I hate it.
You know.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I feel a little bit, you know, I just want to acknowledge that. How many years have you guys been walking with Jesus? Approximately.
Over 30 years.
Over 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, 26.
Yeah. And while it might be uncomfortable that when Jesus comes and overturns those things in our hearts, I can just sense from both of you there is a surrender, because we do know it's going to be better for us, you know.
Yeah, that's one advantage of walking with him longer, you know, for 30 years now. I'm at the place now where I rejoice when I'm under conviction.
Yeah.
Because I know he's still working on me.
Yeah.
And that means that there's going to be some beautiful fruit on the other side. You know, I don't ever now think I'm not a Christian. Because I've been his for a long time now, I'm really secure in my salvation, not because it's me, but given to me by him. But I remember when I first was a Christian, I would wrestle with, am I really a Christian? And one of the reasons I knew I was because of conviction. Now, 30 years later, I still rejoice in conviction. I used to rejoice in conviction because it let me know I was his. Now I rejoice in conviction because I know there's fruit on the other side.
Yeah.
There's going to be some change. He's leading me to repentance.
Yeah.
And when I repent, there's going to be a sweet fruit on the other side.
Yeah. That's amazing. One of the things I love about these 5 tables is that while you may not have, well, everyone probably has at least one of these things, but all 5 operate as a little bit of those warning signs that it could be any of those 5 at any given time. And so it's beautiful to have these in front of you, to be reminded that if you find yourself leaning towards a little more comfort, or you're finding yourself seeking more approval, that could become one of those tables. And I think that's just a helpful warning sign on the dash. Hey, know that could happen.
Yeah.
And so therefore you can actually stay a little further from it, because then when the rebuke starts to come, when the Spirit starts to convict inside, you probably haven't drifted so far into it where it is actually a flipping table kind of scenario.
Yeah.
You can catch it a little earlier.
That would have been really cool if in the message I had flipped the table.
I was hoping you would. I kept waiting for it.
we could
It's not too late.
we could
Got a
have
whole weekend.
we could have had some
We could AI it back in on the
no. What if we had like little explosives and like they fell?
That's a good idea.
They just toppled.
Explosives.
You know, like
Do you think that's what happened with Jesus?
no. He no.
I bet he was strong though.
He's strong. Jesus is strong. He carried his cross after flogging halfway
Sheesh.
to Golgotha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
He
I didn't think about that.
What is that, week 5?
He walked miles
On
after he got resurrected from the dead.
Oh my gosh.
and he walked on water.
He walked on water.
Gotta be strong for that.
Yes.
So light.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Tough but light on his feet at the same time.
I mean,
Yeah.
what a guy.
Yeah. Amazing.
As if he's God.
Yes. I mean, only guy could pull that off. That's the best thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we also got to celebrate this weekend the beginning of our summer camps opening up for all of Next Gen for kids, junior high, and HSM. And they've been open for a while, I guess. We were just chatting beforehand, but it was fun to...
It's official kickoff weekend.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, really fun.
Which means summer's close.
I'm so excited.
That's the thing. When we have this weekend, I'm like, oh, Christmas is like way in the past.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Do you know?
And if you're in the Southern California area, it's 90 degrees.
Yes.
So it
I am not
feels
complaining.
like summer.
Yeah.
I am not complaining, guys. Just pull up weather.com and look in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Do you
We
know?
will worship.
For you who listen in other parts of the country, I just want to encourage you to, just think about your friends in Southern California. It's challenging sometimes this time of year.
Hard. It's so
I
hot.
saw a cloud the other day.
A cloud?
I saw a cloud.
My seats are really hot.
I know,
man.
man. I mean, I had such a great view of the sun, and then there was a cloud that got in the way. It was just so disturbing. It was a quick moving cloud. It lasted.
Disruptive to your
It
enjoyment.
only lasted a couple seconds. So think about your friends in Southern California.
Oh.
Sorry.
Summer,
Summer
though.
camp,
The
everybody.
summer is going to be awesome.
This summer. I think Jared was saying we're in summer
yeah,
now,
yeah,
but we have like in the actual calendar summer,
Yeah.
we have VBS, JHM campus,
Yep.
and high school
And
camp.
high school camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, camps come in. I mean, we all know. I mean, Eric and I, we both did youth ministry in our past, and it is the thing in which you are jealous for the time of teenagers. And so when you can get them away to go to camp, you can pull them away not only from the distractions of their life, but you pull them away from their cell phones as well. And you can get some incredible attention with these students. Now, God, we believe, speaks consistently and constantly, and yet when we get away, we hear him differently.
Yes.
And so that's what we love about junior high and high school camp. We just get this uninterrupted time where we get to talk about Jesus and give him some opportunities to respond to him.
Yeah.
It may have been a year and a half, 2 years ago. We were in some meeting. I can't remember if either of you were there, but we went around. You were there, Liz? There was like 12 or 15 of us there.
Yeah.
And everyone shared. When was the season in your life when Jesus became your king or your best friend, or you started following after him? And for like 80% of the room, it was high school, college. And for many in the room, a summer camp experience
Of course.
was and we know that he can speak to us, like you said, anytime, but that was a moment where there was time carved out where the person was willing to meet with God, and God just completely changed the trajectory of that person's life.
Yep.
Yeah.
The challenge that I'm feeling right now as I think about our own teenagers is this comfort piece. Camp doesn't sound comfortable. Camp sounds like I got to share a room and these, bathrooms and these like not eating the best foods, and I'm leaving my amazing house and my warm bed. And it's a fear. There's a thing that's like, I'd rather not. I would rather not. And yet they don't even realize what they're missing out.
Evie, this summer, Eden will be going off to college.
Wow.
So I guess, I don't even know. Do we let seniors, does she still go?
No.
She's done.
She's done.
She's
Be a
done.
leader.
She had her last camp.
She had her last camp. So Evie loves our high school camp so much. And Eden did too, but now Eden's, she's aged out. Dang. Evie is finishing her sophomore year. So I'll tell you how much she loves high school camp. She's spending the summer in Uganda. She's going to spend her whole summer in Uganda, living with the pastor that we have a partnership with, Pastor Peter. And she's coming back for 1 week vacation with us and high school camp.
That's amazing.
So
she's
awesome.
she's coming back to go to high school camp.
That's awesome.
So that's how much she loves high school camp.
So cool.
Life-changing experiences. And VBS is an amazing outreach to families in our community.
Of course.
I'm so excited about VBS.
I do encourage you, if you have elementary kids, to use this as a time to invite some other families who have elementary kids to join you. The kids are going to have a great time. They're going to hear the good news of Jesus, and their families are going to know, wow, this church really loves kids. This church loves families. So it's a great opportunity to invite family friends, to invite families to join them for VBS.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah, it's true. It's a super fun week for kids. They get to go real hands-on with some Bible stories. They make some new friendships. And we have an unbelievable amount of adult and student volunteers that serve that week.
That week does not happen. And that we have it at all congregations.
We do, yeah.
It
There's
doesn't
an Irvine week,
yeah.
and then there's a week for all others.
Yeah. It doesn't happen without teenagers.
Not even close.
With their summers off, absolutely.
I'm walking around and saying, this thing is being run by.
Yeah, the number is like 600 teenagers that help run VBS. It's
and they're
incredible.
awesome. They're awesome.
They are the best.
Yeah. It is the most adorable week on our campus all year long. It is
The kids get you to, I signed so many shirts.
They're so cute.
Sign my shirt. Of course. Yeah.
So sweet. I
Yeah.
love it. Well,
It's special.
we're so excited. We're so excited. Eric, should we give him this next step number? Are you going to give it to him or am I?
Yes, I think you should sign up for VBS or JHM camp or high school camp. Space is limited on the kids on the VBS and the high school.
True.
Junior high one, I think.
Junior high, we can expand pretty big
Yeah.
still because we do that here at the Mariners Irvine campus, and so we have lots of room
Yeah.
for that. But yeah, we have limited spots for both.
So
majors.
I do encourage you to go ahead and get signed up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
949-267-3137. Oh, sorry.
That's a 1.
It's a 1. Dang. I can't read.
Doesn't have his
All right,
readers.
let me start over. I don't have my readers on. Text the word next gen, and gen is spelled Gen. There's a drink that's spelled differently, right? Yeah.
That's gin.
Good. Like,
You're like, man, this church is crazy, dude. They got
you? What?
they selling gin up in there. What kind of place is this?
Gen G-E.
The other table.
How is that? I'm not a gin drinker. How is that spelled?
How is gin? G-I-N.
Okay.
This is G-E-N.
Yes, that's what it sounds same. It sounds the same.
Like
From the south it does. You two are
From the south. Come on, Liz and I had a debate the other day about how to. There was a sweet lady in our church named Pam who.
We're never gonna give him this phone
Come on,
number.
I'm getting the number in a minute. There's a lady in our church named Pam. She's from New Orleans area, like I am. She was actually a broadcaster on. I think it was Channel 4, which was like when I grew up. There was like 3 channels.
Yeah,
exactly.
4, 6,
4
and 8.
sounds important.
Yeah, it was. She was important. She's here in Southern California, and she made pralines, which is this amazing New Orleans. And I was sharing them in the pastor study the other day, and Liz called them pralines. Pralines.
That's probably what I would say.
And I was like, they're pralines. And so we looked up on ChatGPT, and in New Orleans they're called pralines, and everywhere else, including Georgia, where Liz is from, they're called pralines.
But I think New Orleans is more accurate, right? Because
Hey, I'm proud of you right now. You just said New Orleans.
I did get in
New
trouble for
Orleans.
this.
Yeah, because I said, wait a second. I just need to know before I even bother to look at how you say pralines or pralines. How do you say where I'm from?
Man.
And she said New Orleans. I said, there's no way. there's no way that
Can't trust you.
Yeah, I can't trust you. All right. So, gin.
So, what should we text?
So, gin. Not the drink, but the generation. Next gen. You text next gen, Gen, to the number 949-267-3131. Next gen to 949-267-3131. And we'll get you information, get you signed up, your kid signed up for VBS or camp for junior hires or high schoolers.
Nailed it. We got it.
That's what I
We
do. I
finally
do
got it.
announcements really well.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
I am the.
great
You should
at
host
that.
this week.
I am the podcast announcer.
We'll come
Yeah,
back
we'll
next
do
week. You'll have a different guest and a different logo. It's going to be
No,
great.
the logo. We're sticking with the logo.
Jared, thank you for joining us.
Hey, happy to be
so
here.
fun. So fun to be with you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to the If I Had More Time podcast.